All right. Thank you. You know, somebody asked me, what's with the color? I said, I've been in my pajamas for 2 years, so this is it. Mastering the wow factor in the experiential economy. Slide 1, please. So before I start this whole thing, I wanted to tell a story about one of my clients. We were working with SpaceX and Mr. Elon Musk. And apparently he's the richest man in the known universe. Is that right? Is he number 1 now? Yeah? He lost a little bit, yeah. So I was his go-to person for SpaceX when the rockets would go up and then they would go down and crash. And this nutty guy wanted to have a party and a gathering every time a rocket crashed. And it was the weirdest thing because it was just, fire, but there we were making it happen. I also started doing a lot of his events that were personal events for him. So the next slide here is a movie called Flying Down to Rio in 1933. His wife calls me and says, we want to celebrate because we feel our next rocket's going to do really, really well. And how do we get all our guests and the media involved into this? And I said, well, why are you showing me this picture of these ladies on an airplane? We want to have Elon and a bunch of his people on top of an airplane going around in Sonoma, and it's going to get all this worldwide press. And I said, I guess you could do it. When do you want to do it? Next week. And I said, oh, geez, you might need a permit for that. And my insurance people are going to... I said, no way. There's no way you can do this. Next slide, please. This is him doing it in 2015 after I said no. So there's always a way. Okay, that's why I wanted to show that one. He's nutty. Next one, please. So the experiential economy explained. How many people even know what that means, the experience economy? Has anyone even used that in a sentence in the last year or two? Nobody. Perfect. So the experience economy is something that your kids are doing right now. I'm 52 years old. I just got the tail end of it. But next slide, please. These folks really talk about it really well. This book was made in 1999. This is when flip phones were happening. And these guys really got it. Pine and Gilmore pretty much wrote the book on the experience economy and predicted what we'd be living in now. Next slide, please. So these are the folks who are doing the experience economy really, really well. The Lollapalooza, CES, South by Southwest, and the Super Bowl. Lollapalooza is a music festival, but guess what? They were doing kind of the side stuff a long time ago, and a lot of brands understood that really well, and they were having event experiences next to, Ice Cube rapping, and it was the weirdest thing. CES is a trade show where you can touch absolutely everything. Try to touch, where's my Hyatt man? Did he take off? Try to touch the Hyatt hotel. Like, you can't do it. It's difficult. CES understood very well that if you want to talk about experience, they're asking a lot of their people to bring that product. Now, it helps that it's, an electric toothbrush that is connected to the internet or whatever. South by Southwest, culture meets education, meets music. And the music part's the first part to come, but someone got smart and said, let's put the TED Talks and jam it with music, and the audience will figure it out. We're all smart people. Super Bowl, I don't have to even talk about the Super Bowl. Super Bowl is not even sports anymore. It is brands and experiences like you wouldn't believe. If you've ever been to a Super Bowl city when it's happening, I believe the next one is in Miami. Is that right? In LA? My football is goal. It's not this football. Next slide, please. So millennials enjoy experiences over stuff. That's really important to figure out because That's the workforce. Those are the people that we're talking to now. You know, the millennials are starting to come in like you would not believe in this industry. So our parents bought the stuff. Now they're trying to get rid of the stuff. Millennials don't want the stuff. They just want to do stuff and travel. And next slide, please. So how do you maintain engagement? A tough group, right? I mean, they've seen it all. They've done it all. They're probably texting right now. Is that right, Tui? Yep. I always try to catch her. She's next slide, please. So the business meetings, conferences, and events are the very foundation of the B2B are no exception. These are the same guys that wrote that book. They said that about our events in 2020. So they really are on the ball there. So let's look at the next slide. Help. This is how I feel and our attendees feel when there's nothing to do, like in the hallways here today. Oh, that was tough. Next slide. Let's make it good. Okay, next slide. Master the wow factor. So when Miguel asked me to do this, I said, what do you want me to talk about? I mean, he goes, just show pictures and pictures and pictures of the things that you do. And I said, well, you know, it's not for everything. He goes, yeah, but a lot of people have never seen that on the event side. They've seen that maybe at concerts, or if you went to the Rolling Stones concert, you saw this cool thing. Let's get the next one. So how do you create a wow factor? Take a picture of this thing, because this is going to make you rich. It's made me rich. No. So there's the entertainment, education, aesthetic, and escapist. And the sweet spot is right in the middle. If you can get your event to be somewhere in the middle there, where that Venn diagram comes together, you're in business. So for example, I like looking at the holiday lights. You know, at Christmas time, you get in your car, you take your kids to go look at the lights. That's got a very high aesthetic. Immersion's not that into it. It's kind of passive, right? So it's kind of in the middle there. But it meets it meets 3 criteria at once. It gets to the sweet spot. It's difficult to really think about this, but everything will eventually plot on that graph. So whenever you're doing a portion of your event, ask yourself, does it fit in that sweet spot? Okay, last chance to take a picture. Next slide, please. So this is something that we did almost 7 years ago now. So the interactive step and repeat hit the sweet spot. Why? Because it was aesthetically interesting. You know, it had lots of branding, which everybody liked. And then people would just take pictures with it anyway. And then a hand would come out and give you a drink or a gift. And people were just blown away by this thing. Now, I have to say, there's nothing new under the sun. Okay, so you're going to see some slides here that our studio's taken something and changed it a little bit. But this is a fantastic, clinical example of that science of that sweet spot of the Venn diagram. Next slide, please. So you go to the event, you come in, and the drummers are drumming, and it's a great entrance. Next slide. When I go like this next slide. This is like the fast part. So, and then you come in, the drummers, and then next slide. And then you go and get a drink, and you're starting to get engaged in the event. And then you go, next slide, and then you go get a cigar, maybe. I like cigars, so I go get a cigar, and he's rolling a cigar. First time you've ever seen it. Oh, it's fantastic. Let's take a picture. You're taking pictures you're in this event for the last 10 minutes. You've already taken 7 pictures. Next slide. Then, okay, it's time to hang out. Everybody hang out and talk and network now that we can, with masks, I guess. Next slide. This is something that we did back in 2021. If you're going to I'm going to plug the party tonight, the site, what's it called, Tui? Site night. Site night tonight at Resorts World. Let's roll the clip. Someone said, what the hell is that thing? I said, it's called engagement. You just took a picture with it. You just sent it to 5 people, and you wrote 5 different wishes on that wish wall. And you're asking me what it is? You did it. It's so natural that you don't even think about it. You want to make things that are very natural that people don't have to really think. Everybody nowadays has a phone. We all want to take a picture with a cool thing. For trade shows, if you're doing a lot of kind of promotional work like that for the expo world, consider this. Build a world where people want to take pictures, not just have information. Next slide, please. So pictures are hot. Let's show the video. I don't want to even talk about this. It's self-explanatory. So wouldn't it be great to have an entire universe at your event that people can remember and you can brand it and everything else? Well, that's like a little phone booth that's tiny and it's got mirrors on the inside. And that goes directly to social media. And that message that you crafted, that you curated is now all over the place. And that's one of my favorites. Another one is the wow factor that I enjoy is the spontaneous typewriter poet. You walk up, you're at the event, you walk up, you tell the person a couple things about you, and in about 5 minutes, just like a freestyle rapper, artists will make a poem about you. And the first time I saw this, I literally cried because we were pregnant with my wife, and he wrote a poem about my unborn son. And I still have that piece of paper today. Whenever we do this at events, people come up to me later and say, I have that paper since 3 years now. It's on my fridge for the last 3 years. Talk about engagement. That's what you want. Next slide, please. This is something also that's very spontaneous. You pick up the phone and you find out where that secret room is in the event, or what the secret password is to get the secret cocktail of the evening. Everybody loves mystery. Next slide, please. The mystery tattoo is one of the most mysterious things that we do. Let's show the video. I think I don't have to talk about it. I like the acting on that one. So that's branding, right? And people put their hand in this kind of space, and they don't know what they're going to get. And that was inspired by a real tattoo artist in New York City, that you could actually get a real tattoo and putting your arm in. And sometimes you like it, and sometimes you don't. The reason I mention it now is because I use it for branding for the clients. Oftentimes, I have to warn you, though, guests don't want your logo on there. They want anything else other than your logo. Or if your logo is there, it better be funny or kind of interesting. Nobody wants Toyota on their arm. Trust me on that one. Let's get into a little bit of hybrid. This is the cloud-based kind of mosaic that we've all seen. But this is a little bit different because this one, it gives you a chance to kind of ask questions and get to know the participants a little later. I have to warn you, this video is very cheesy. Let's take a look at it.
Introducing virtual photo technology for your virtual events. Capture and recreate experiences with a customized interactive virtual photo mosaic. How does it work? First, choose an image that exemplifies your event. This is your mosaic masterpiece. Next, invite guests to upload their photo along with personal responses to questions relating to your event. They can even share their experiences on social media. Once approved, their photo is instantly transformed to a mosaic tile in your mosaic masterpiece. Now, all event attendees can click on the photos in your mosaic and read their personal responses. Virtual Photo Mosaic is a turnkey, customizable solution for award ceremonies, graduations, product launches, company celebrations, training events, and more. Make your event impactful, memorable, and engaging with a virtual photo mosaic.
So that was used a lot at our studio during the peak of the pandemic for awards nights. So how do you get people to find out and care about what that award was within that organization? So if you had a sales team that was doing something, they could click on that person's information, and they had answered a bunch of questions, but you can also chat with them. You know, it's kind of like a weird, it's like if the sticker that you put on the mosaic kind of came to life. I really like it. So if that was high tech, this is super low tech. Whenever you are at a function, even if you're here in Las Vegas and you have some time off, your delegates have some time off, and they want to kind of kill a couple minutes, this is a good way of doing it. Write home. Tell your mom that you love her. Let's roll it. Real postcard, a real postage stamp. It can't get any more low tech. At the high tech conferences, this is a super hit because they just want to take a break. People just want to, do old-fashioned things. Zoom this holiday season. How many people are working on their holidays now? Well, you're late, right? Everything's happening fast. This is a funny one. It's a holiday murder mystery on Zoom. Hit it. So that was inspired by a photographer that only takes pictures of kids crying and Santa's lap. That's his entire portfolio. It's fantastic. The reason I bring that up is because it doesn't always have to be so serious. We're talking to real people at these events, and we're designing real events. Think out of the box and have some fun. If you want to dream with me, that's my information. Come up to me and we'll do that LinkedIn thing. That was cool. Thank you for listening.